Tori told me today that I am very toxic. Why did you say that to me again?
Because you said something that was very toxic, and I was like, no, you said something that was very honest about how you feel, and I was like, holy shit, you don't understand how toxic that sounds.
Right.
But it's honest, so you can't really be mad about it. Hey, I'm Tori, here with my lover, Rick.
This is our podcast about threesomes. We're going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, you'll hear all about our encounters from beginning to end.
So, if you're like-minded, curious, or you're just flat out appalled by our behavior,
You're in the right place, so strap on.
hey everybody, welcome back. This is going to be a little bit different episode, right?
Right.
Right. Well, this episode is brought to you by nobody. It's just us. But this episode, we're taking a little break from our adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Although this is still be adventurous. We want to talk about something that probably the most popular question that comes to us, and people want to know, how do we do this and not get jealous? What's the answer to that, love?
The answer is that we do get jealous.
Yes.
Because we are human beings.
Yes, it does happen.
I say that, but it makes me think of how I think that there are people that probably are raised in a way that they like free love and open love and love for all kind of comes a little bit more naturally to them than it might have for the both of us.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, is
Not anymore, but we come from that.
right, and is jealousy something that we had to combat a little bit more than some people that partake in this type of sex?
Yeah, I'll put it this way. You don't have to have a third to be jealous. Jealousy, from what we can tell, can just be talking to somebody.
Yeah.
In fact, we've met girls who, when they talk about boyfriends or something like that, they get jealous even if the boyfriend is just talking to another girl.
Mm-hmm.
So they talk about how that might be hard for them with a boyfriend. They seem to be okay when they're joining in as a third with us, and then there's a certain detachment, I guess. But for us, we don't get jealous that easy. Like, right? If you just see me talking to a girl, maybe in the early days you would have.
No, I don't think I was ever that jealous when it comes to the typical jealousy things.
Right.
I feel like the jealousy of, like, I see you checking a girl out doesn't faze me. It's weird because I don't want to label it as jealousy when you if you message somebody on Instagram and then it's like 10 days later that you're like, oh yeah, well, when I messaged her, and it's like, well, why didn't he tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you just not tell me? Like, I'm not gonna
jealous
because I'm not gonna care. So why wouldn't you just let me know?
Right.
But then you just bring it up like nonchalantly, and I'm like, and it's not even anybody that you could be angling towards. Or I guess sometimes it's like, I didn't know he was angling towards that person. So is he like building up this relationship with this person without me knowing?
Right.
So I guess that's jealousy, but I'm also like, it's not something that I lose sleep over.
I feel like that's less jealousy on your part, and it's more FOMO.
I have such bad FOMO.
Yeah, Tori has FOMO in such a bad way.
Just like let me in on it. Yeah, like let me have fun.
I feel like, if I'm having a conversation with somebody, forget about if it's a girl. If I'm just having a conversation with somebody, you get FOMO.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have enough conversations.
Yeah.
And Tori has a lot more text exchanges than I do. Way more.
Is that where you would say your biggest jealousy plays out in your life? Like, where would you say that jealousy is most persistent between us
For us,
today?
today,
Not this actual day, but
yeah,
today's
yeah. At
era.
this point in our relationship, this far along, right? In
Mm-hmm.
our relationship, I don't, I can't remember the last time I felt jealousy.
That's because you don't care anymore and our relationship is over.
That's right. This is a breakup video. So no,
Aw.
yeah, no, I can't. I don't. Yeah, it doesn't.
To me, that makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong.
No.
I don't know why. Maybe that's okay. Look, that makes me sound toxic, right?
Right.
But I feel like if I'm not making you a little bit jealous, like a little bit on your toes, like a little bit like you need to like worry about what you got, then I'm like, what? Shit. Like I said, this is a breakup video.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to think of something. Well, I must be jealous about something.
Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and tell me then about what you were jealous about in the beginning of our relationship?
Um, the thing is we've talked about this. I don't know what causes it, but I like Tori. Okay, so Tori, like me, we have high body counts. That's what they're calling it now, right? So everybody talks about body counts. We have high body counts. And typically when a girl has a high body count, that's shunned upon. I disagree with that. That should not matter. Women should be able to get their groove on just like guys. It does not matter to me. I don't think that actually, I do think they're slutty for doing it, but I think I'm slutty for doing it. So it doesn't matter. So back to your question. So in the beginning, Tori would introduce me to a guy if we ran into an old boyfriend, because we would go to her hometown,
Would
or I was
old
in at college, and I would and not even a boyfriend,
I was
just
gonna say they were
one of
just
her
my guy friends.
one of her bodies that she counted. Um, so I wouldn't want to meet them because I'm like, no, you fuck that guy. I don't want to meet him. And that's like I thought was like a really old fashioned thing. And I was, trying to rise above that. But it turns out that that's still a thing, but it's not for me.
It's not the right thing.
It used to be for me. That would make me insanely jealous, but it doesn't anymore. And now one of the reasons for that, probably the reason or biggest reason, is that Tori and I, and this is the advantage of Tori and I having such great sexual adventures together and growing together sexually and inviting thirds into our relationship that we end up making friends with and we experiment with and we've done so many fun things, is that now I don't give a fuck who the guy was in their past. I know they didn't get to do that stuff with Tori, and I reign supreme as the king, and Tori thinks that sounds a little bit toxic.
I think
it comes from a good place in my heart.
again, I think it's honest, which I love, which makes it not toxic, but it does sound toxic and like I get all of it and you get none of it. Like, haha, I did better than you. That's the energy that I read from it. But I also know that the way you described it too to me was that it helped you build the confidence to know that like maybe it was a lack of confidence that you were having when you met those people.
Yes. When you look back on it, you realize, oh, it isn't just that. It's that I did not have confidence in our relationship.
Right.
And I thought that I was being outperformed in all these ways. But now we've done so much stuff that the confidence that I have in our relationship, I'm like, no, it does, like that's what I mean by they don't have what we have. It's actually a good thing. It's
not even, I guess the way that it kind of comes off as toxic is that you're computing it to, or you're making it all about the sex, but it's also about the hurdles we have come over and the foundation and the house we've built, the home we've built together.
Right.
And
I only do that when because we're examining it right now, but I don't spend my days thinking about it for sure.
Right.
I don't even think about it when it happens now. I just had to question, why don't I get upset anymore
about that? Yeah.
Right. And that's the conclusion I've drawn. And the only reason this is important, I think, is because what we're trying to tell you as the audience is that if you're thinking about doing this, be build a relationship with your primary partner that's such that you guys are first and foremost, and you build all these experiences together. So that makes just a stronger relationship, and it's very hard to break that.
I think it reminds me of the old folklore of the three little pigs. And you've got three houses. One's built out of straw, one's built out of twigs, and one's built out of bricks. And the one built out of bricks does not blow down by the big bad wolf.
Right.
I think that if you and your partner in your relationship sweep a lot of stuff under the rug, or don't express your jealousies, or don't express your concerns, or don't tell that person when they did something that upset you, I think that that will lead to a straw house that will easily be blown over by somebody coming into it, because it's not like there haven't been very difficult situations that Rick and I have gone through that could and should have broken us.
Right.
But we together are building something, a house, if you will, and we are trying to make sure that it had the best concrete in the foundation, and it has the best bricks and the best mortar and the
Right.
best. I have no idea how to build a house, but I'm just making this shit up off of stuff I've
And I
seen.
gotta say, like for me, the hardest part of that has been when we meet somebody and she is, for me, a lot of it is physical in the beginning, and I'm just like just attracted to her in such a huge way, and I want repetition.
Mm.
And for me to have to just say, no, dude, you need to chill out because it gets in the way. That's hard. Like that takes some kind of inner strength that you may not have now, and you got to keep working on it because it wants to eat you up from the inside out, and you have to build inner strength for that.
I think
And
what happened
it's not easy.
at the beginning, you used to fight for that a lot more.
Yeah, right.
And now moving forward, like at the beginning, he was just like, "No, we gotta do this. We gotta do this. Like
Yeah.
she's not gonna be here for blah, blah, blah," and we would argue about it.
And I
And
was like, baby, I want that pussy.
please. And now you don't push as hard. And I think that that's one learning. I think it's compromise, and I think I think that that's one situation where you had to compromise, but I think for the better. I think it was like I kind of had the right idea. Well, we both had the right
Yeah,
idea.
we did. I think we both, in our own way, had the right idea, and the way I see it from my perspective is, by doing that, I believe that we have missed out on opportunities, but it 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 creates. We may have missed an opportunity that might have been fun, but in the process, we also eliminated an argument. We eliminated tension. We eliminated resentment towards each other. And so that was the trade-off, and that's worth it because because then we meet somebody that we really hit it off with, and it all works out great, and it's fun. And then the best thing is that when we reach out, or a girl reaches out to us and say, "Hey, I want to come and hang out with you guys," and we're like, "Yes, we love Sasha. Let's hang out with Sasha."
Yeah.
And then we just have the fucking best threesome ever. Like it's just so good, and it's because we're so glad to see each other again, and that thing that normally unnerves me, where I'm just like, come on, let's move this thing along, Well, now when somebody like Sasha reaches out, we get together, and we all can't keep our hands off of each other, and it's guaranteed, it's immediate, and it feels so good.
Yeah.
So good, right? So that's just one example of many. But so the missed opportunities, because of the nature of what we're doing, they're going to be there, but they're not really at the end missed opportunities.
Do you think that that's a form of FOMO? You not wanting to miss those opportunities?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, I'm the queen of FOMO, but I'm just realizing.
You needed me to be a FOMO person too.
I just realized I'm like, Rick's a FOMO person. Oh, no, I just
sure.
yeah,
No, absolutely. It is absolutely a form of FOMO.
I think,
Not the worst kind like you have, but
shit, boy. I'll go ahead and throw myself under the bus real quick. And since we're on the topic of jealousy, my biggest form of jealousy. Now, if put up on a chart, recognize jealousy tendencies. I just by far had a lot less than you, right?
yes,
You would,
I'm definitely more jealous than you
yeah.
are.
I that's not whatever. But I think some of my jealous tendencies are a little worse in the sense that they're mostly made up in my head.
Right.
Like I don't, and
Well, I think mine are
I
too.
want to lead credence. Like I want to lead, like credence. Is that the right word? I want to lead credence to that. If I feel it, it's an emotion. It's true. I'm allowed to have that feeling. But like one of them will be if a new girl comes into our life and Rick is wooing her and he's like pulling out all these moves and he's like doing all this stuff and he's like, you know, he's taking shots or yeah, I'll take a little hit of that weed or whatever and he's doing all the cool guy stuff that like I ask him to do and he's like, "Look, really? Like what? Like why are you doing that? Why do you have to have a shot right now? Why do you have to do this?" And it's like things that you shame me for, but you encourage them for.
Right.
And I always feel like he does a lot more
Yeah, you
for
give people a pass.
right,
I give people a pass that I don't normally give to you.
but then when you okay, so if you put it
Right.
that way, I always think I'm like, okay, that is this very moment or these specific things. But then I think about the Beyonce tickets, the travels we have gone on,
Right.
the let's get in
The meals that I make you.
the beautiful meals I get every every fucking day. So I get very jealous that those girls get the best version of him. And I don't say the best version of him because I think I do get the best version of him, but they get the like I don't give a fuck version of him, which I, I'm not trying to take that person every day, but I would like to hang out with that person every once in a while solo, right? Like I would like to have like fuck it, Rick, every once in a while just for myself, not for the girl to be there. You know what I mean? So that's my jealousy tendency.
Wait, a solo with me?
Yeah, like me and you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you don't always want it to be a third.
Well, and then again, so I say that, and this is where I have those feelings. I'm able to express those feelings to Rick. He doesn't get upset with me for feeling
Mm.
that way. But then also like I talk to myself when I start to get heated about something like that. I'm like, well, they haven't gotten to take acid with him in the middle of the woods, or they haven't been able to, take shrooms with him and lay on a hotel bed and do all this stuff. So it's like I do get that version of myself. It's just in that moment when I see it, I'm human and that little fire starts to burn inside of me
That's an
and
awful feeling.
you can't help it.
And I think as we're saying this, anybody listening is probably thinking, "Oh,
I know
I know that feeling."
and you can talk yourself out of it later on, but you can't stop yourself from feeling that
Right.
feeling.
And the point being, it happens to us.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter all these
Exactly.
stories we tell. We get those feelings.
Exactly.
And to this point, we're telling the really good, we're cherry picking our adventures. And I suppose we've had a hard time, but we're going to have to tell at least two stories, maybe three stories here in the near future of things that didn't turn out so well. I mean, it might have been a good threesome, but then Tori and I just argue like really bad. I mean, almost to the point of breakup over it because we feel like one of us slighted the other or something. Or yeah, it's just there's been a couple of times where it's bad,
Right.
and
Those ones are hard to talk about. I don't want to sound bitter. I feel very fortunate to be able to enjoy this with my best fucking friend, to talk about it, to play. I mean, our life is just fun.
right.
And I mean, there is not fun times. But I feel like when I talk about those things, I tend to get very bitter is the best way I know how to explain it, right? Like I get
Yeah.
real negative and ugly and just
Yeah,
like
you get kind of mean about
I
it
do, and I
and
want to.
angry, and I'm like, "Damn, why are you so angry?"
I'm good at blaming myself for the things I've done wrong, but I'm also very good, very, very good at making sure you blame yourself too. I will let you
Yeah.
know what you've done wrong. I will make you say it. I will make you repeat it, and I will make you, say it one more time down the road just so I know you remember what
Why are
you
you
did
so mean?
wrong. Cuz you stupid. That's the slap on
Yeah.
the subway.
That's
If you
yeah, the
haven't
new
seen that YouTube
uh,
video.
uh, yeah, that's a video you guys need to watch.
Yes.
Girl gets the soul slapped out of her on the New York City subway.
It's an old one. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie.
um,
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about those times. I think we owe it to ourselves. We've talked about how doing these episodes have been some of the best therapy for us, and I think that going through those bad times and rehashing that out and pulling all that luggage out and unpacking it is gonna help us heal from that too. And I mean,
right.
who doesn't want to heal and just be a better human being? That just
Hmm.
sounds like a fun time, doesn't it, love?
Right. So yeah, that's kind of what we wanted to talk about, and one of the things that brought this up too was not only do we get asked that, but I get on Reddit a lot, and I see, and we're on the what is it, the ethical non-monogamy. There's a non-monogamy, and the running theme there seems to be particularly for people who are looking to open up the relationship is how do I keep from getting jealous? And I think that the short answer is you don't.
No,
And
you learn to do.
but yeah, you have to communicate with each other and be each other's best friend, and you need to work together. There's a lot of one thing that Tori and I don't do that I see a lot of is that a guy and a girl decide they're going to do this, and one of them just goes out and easily pairs up with somebody, and they go off and they have their extracurricular activity, I guess, alone,
Mm.
solo. And I think that that's a wrong way to start it, because then the equity is not there,
Mm.
and or the equality, not the equity, but the equality is not there. The one person gets the lion's share, the other doesn't, and that starts the tension off right away. That wouldn't fly with us.
No, we
There's
definitely
no,
eased into
yeah,
it.
and we worked together, and we flirt with people together, and we're a duo.
Yeah.
And if you can be a duo with your partner, you guys will rule the world. You really will.
Mm.
We probably should talk about this sort of thing some more as well. In addition to we're getting close to wrapping up what we'll call our second season, and we're hoping that in our third season that we get to talk more about these things, and we want to be more interactive, and we're going to try to expand this thing.
We're trying to find out what it is that people are curious about. We wanted to tell entertaining stories and we have a bunch of them, but we also want to we want to learn, we want to grow, we want to
Right.
help people grow. We want to let people in on some of our secrets that we've and not secrets. We don't want to gatekeep how to do this. We want to
Right.
I don't want to. We're no experts. we
Right. Yeah.
we haven't studied this.
And yeah, I think it would work different for everybody.
I think so too. But just some things that we have experienced and that we can share with you. Uh, one of the things I want to talk about real quick, our theme of this episode is jealousy. And I
Hmm.
feel like something that a lot of couples struggle with in just a very basic way of jealousy that they get jealous is if they see their partner looking at somebody else,
Admiring somebody.
admiring
Yeah.
somebody, or
And
looking at
and
them.
Tori and I do this a lot, but we're vocal about it with each other.
Mm-hmm.
We don't keep it inside. We actually say, "Wow, check out that girl. She's cute."
Right.
And one of Tori pointed out something when we were discussing this that I do. You feel I do that differently? that part of what makes mine seem, I guess, to you sincere, because I do mean it in a sincere way. I'm not always speaking on sexual terms,
Right.
even though I'm a total sexual scoundrel.
Well,
Don't get any crazy ideas.
it's Rick's is it's funny that you took it in a good way, and and I guess it is kind of a good thing. It's objective. It's like, well, no shit, that girl's good looking. She's got a tight dress on, heels on, and her hair's long and her makeup's done. Like, he's always like, oh, she's cute, and it's like, well, everybody thinks she's cute. And so it never really like stuck me in the side, because I was like, well, no shit. I mean, she is objectively cute, like subjectively as well, but because if some people like a frumpy looking girl, well then yeah, or like somebody that's in goth wear, it's like, okay, well then I guess in a way it is subjective, but it was kind of easy for me to hear, because it was just like, well, yeah, she is cute.
Well, no, but the thing is I've heard you explain it to me, and I think it's true, is that you just mentioned a goth girl. I don't just say she's cute.
Yeah.
I say, check out that girl. She's cute. Man, I love the way that she's got that wide belt on with those bell bottoms, but that she's got those, the silver studs all around it.
Yeah.
And those jeans just fit her just right.
Mm-hmm.
And then those shoes, because they're platforms, make her legs look much longer. It goes with her long hair. Her whole theme seems to be length. I don't know if she knows it, but that's what's making her look taller.
Right.
And she's looking thinner, which sometimes seems to be one of the looks of the goth look. I actually am looking at all these things, and I'm trying to decide what's making this girl sexy.
Right.
It isn't just that she's got a pretty face, because sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
But they still look sexy as
have
fuck because of the way that they put themselves together. And then I admire that. Look, it's a pain in the ass when you're waiting on somebody to get ready, but that when you don't have to wait and you can look at somebody and say, well, they must have spent an hour, but man, did they fucking get it on point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that because I do it I don't always explain it like that, but Tori knows that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
And therefore you don't see it as this kind of shallow, oh, she's fucking hot, I do that too. Don't get me wrong, because sometimes I'll see a girl and it's like, fuck, look at that girl. God damn. And it's just pure like,
primal instinct.
Yes, exactly. She just fucking like got all the lady humps. How does that song go?
That lovely lady. Oh,
yeah.
Check it out. I drive these fuckers crazy. I do it on the daily. They treat me really nicely. They buy me all these ices. Dolce & Gabbana. I know every lyric.
There you go.
Every song. I don't know why, but that has not ever bothered me that you've done that.
Yeah.
It simply has not. I think that it used to bother you if I felt that way about a guy, if I barely looked at a guy, but not anymore. Like now I'll just be like, you know what? I think he's kind of cute, but I don't like, my thing is I don't think guys are that cute.
Well, yeah.
I told Rick today, I was like, baby, you are just the sexiest man in every room. And I simply believe that because he's mysterious most of the time. And everybody just wants to get their in with Rick. Everybody wants to talk to Rick because they don't feel like they can't
quite figure me out.
No, they can't. And I love that.
And I go, well, let me show you guys what's going on here. Zip. And I say, right here, this is it. That's the mystery. Can you imagine if I could do that? And they're just, all you see his eyes go, oh. Like, oh, I see. I won't ask any more questions.
He did do that technically, kind of, sort of, a little bit at a dinner party one time. Homeboy. We're sitting at a table that has like at least 10 people at it.
Yeah.
And he pulls out, he's like, we were talking about, I don't know how we got on the subject, but of dick pics.
Right.
And he's like, but my pics are professional dick pics. And everyone's like, well, what do you mean, man? He's like, well, I put a little curve on them, and sometimes I like, get it lit just right.
And I get a good composition of it. And and so
he's like, you want to see?
I go, you guys want to see one of my dick pics? And yeah, so I showed the whole table of my
guys and girls.
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
they're like, oh my God, okay, yeah.
Can you pass the phone down here? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And he has like, good morning, like plastered on it.
They were very impressed.
Yep. Those guys got a little taste of Rick. So anyways,
that's me. That's mystery.
but a lot of guys don't. I don't see that.
Right.
Trying to think of who the best looking guy is that I can think of right now.
You like the guy from the what's the one that's in The Chef in Chicago?
Oh yeah, Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tori loves Jeremy Allen White.
White.
Right?
White.
Jeremy Allen White. She loves him. I mean, thinks he's just the most beautiful specimen of a man. And so one time we were at a restaurant, we were at a bar, and it was one of those U-shaped bars. So we were on one side of the U, and there's this guy sitting on the other side. Looks like him, like had the same build, same color hair, kind of curly. I mean, he was his doppelganger, basically.
Yeah, he looked a lot like him.
I told Tori, I was like, well, if somehow we can strike up a conversation, you have a pass. if all you can get is the replica, I'm ready to let you just write it home,
Very nice of you.
Yeah, and I think he ended up just getting up and walking out like he was done, and we just watched him walk away into the sunset. That was
goodbye.
But
my hall pass.
I'm trusting that if we saw an Alicia Keys lookalike, who's my gal, Tori would totally give me a pass.
Sure.
Yeah, so you got to do that.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Guys.
So thanks for listening to us rant.
If you like this episode and just us kind of freestyling like this, let us know.
Yeah, send us a message somehow.
This is fun.
You can go to our website, and there's a place there where you can send us a message, or you can go to our social media, to Instagram, DM us, drop a comment, because I'm sure Tori will make a small version of this on Instagram. And please say something. Let us know you're out there.
Yeah.
We did just add, what did we add? Alabama.
Arkansas.
We now have listeners in Alabama.
Yeah,
Alabama is the newest United State to listen in. So
what's up, Alabama?
It's been a slow growth, but we're growing, and we are grateful for every single one of you.
Yes, we are. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Right.
Much love, baby.
We'll see you next time.